screaming at everybody. I suppose you're all wondering why I've asked you here today. When my sister asked me to do Eulogy, I was excited, I was honored, and then I got very nervous. How does one go about writing a eulogy? I've never done it. The only eulogies I've ever seen before have been on TV or in TV shows, and they typically deal with a hero, maybe a war hero, head of state, or some sort of important business person. And then I sat down and I realized that that is my mom. My mom was a hero. She was a business leader, and she was also a head of state. My mom was a hero to her family, to my brother, to my sister, to myself, and to my father. Whenever we were sad or hurt, Mom was always there to give us the band-aids or to pick us up so you'll be okay. My Mom was a hero to us because she would do things for us that only a mother could. My sister, my brother, and I used to go out and pick wild black raspberries in the town that we grew up in. They always bloomed in June. And we grew up outside of Pittsburgh, and for those of you that don't know, Pittsburgh in June is disgusting. It is extremely hot, it is extremely humid. We would come home, we would be bloody and born. We would have pushing school, these berries, and at the time we didn't have air conditioning. And my mom would go ahead and make raspberry preserves for us in that hot, humid weather. She didn't care, she knew it was something that would make us excited. We would go out and tell our friends afterwards what my mom was doing because she was that special to us. She was a hero to my dad, too. My father had to work night shift for many years, 15 or 20 years with UPS. And in the early years of my brother's life, he was diagnosed with epilepsy. At the time, we only had one car, and in order for my brother to get the proper care that he needed, he would have to be taken down to downtown Pittsburgh, which was at a time when not all major highways were built. And because Dad had to take the car to work, Mom would have to take my brother and I on a bus so he could get that proper treatment. My brother was eventually cured of the epilepsy, but my dad appreciated that so much that he was taking care of the family in other ways, and my mom stepped up and was able to take him to the hospital for the care that he needed. My mom was also a business leader. As a matter of fact, she was the chief operating officer of the Markham family. She paid our expenses. She did all of the bills. She doled out the allowance to us kids when we actually did our chores. She was the administrator of love, and she was the administrator of punishment. We knew we were in trouble when she did the twirl around, stand on her heels, and reach up to the paddle. That was nicknamed the heat for the seat. She would go running. In her working years, after Stephanie entered into the 7th grade, Mom worked for a couple of businesses. One in particular was a podiatrist. Mom started there with no experience, and within a year she was named the practice manager because the employees respected her, the owners respected her, they valued her opinion. As a leader in the community, within our church, within our township, I can think of no less than 7 individual teenagers, some of them on our street, some of them that did not live on our street, that would come to my mom for advice. They would come to her crying. And as a teenager, both boys and girls, that is very hard to do to come to an adult. She was a leader in the business because she looked at everyone and looked at their qualities, looked at their skills, and made sure that she could try to integrate them into the business, into whatever the decisions, whatever they were doing at the time, and use them as best as they could. My mom will be missed by all. She's going to be missed dearly. Today is obviously Memorial Mass for her. But I sit here trying to hold back tears and say, let's not make this a sad day. Let's make it a day of remembrance. My mom There's so many things to remember about her, so many memories. I asked my brother and my sister, what are some of your favorite memories of Mom? And, they spit out so many things that I could sit here and list off a litany of them. But two of them that I want to mention that really stick out in my mind was how much she prodded us along, always told us to go get it. Her saying was, go get a bucket. It's funny, his father was just speaking right there at the end after communion about when we're at our lowest that are low. And 5 years ago, I had the honor is not the right word. I had to make a phone call to my mom and dad to admit that I had a problem with alcohol and I needed to go to treatment and go to a support group. And as an alcoholic, you have multiple conversations in your head at one time. And in my head, my mom and dad were going to divorce me. They were going to leave the church. They were going to have to move away from where they were. All of that turned out to be false. They both soundly supported me. And again, my mom said, go get a bucket. You can do it. We support you. My sister told of a story that I never knew because it only happened between she and her. But in western Pennsylvania, everything is on hills. And the bus stop that we had was on the top of a hill. And there happened to be a rock at the top of this bus stop. And every day, before my sister got home, my mom would sit on that rock and wait for her. And every day, like clockwork, Stephanie would get off the bus and she would walk home with Mom. And Stephanie told me that while they were sick, that my mother told her that she will always wait at that rock for her. My mom did not like to say goodbyes. She always said, I will see you next time. So though we're here in a memorial mass, Mom will always be waiting at that special spot for anyone that wants to find her, be it Stephanie's rock, Mom and Dad's back porch, or my house in Texas where my kids are playing. She will always be there waiting. So today I ask that you remember Myra, and let's not say goodbye. It is, we will see you next time. When that next time is, I don't know. We don't work well on God's scale of time. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be 30 years from now. But we will see her, and she will be there. To conclude this, I just want to say thank you to everybody for coming. And at the end of this Mass, there will be a reception. The directions are in the back, and we would be very appreciative if all of you could join us. Thank you very much.